my shorts.
Welcome to the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Dave Lee, and this is episode number 49. Hang on, I forgot to turn your microphone on. Go again.
PC 49.
PC 49.
God knows what it means.
It's get worse every week.
I have no idea what it means.
Got to do our clink of the glasses, and I've prepared this week. I've got a special sound effect already. There we go. Hey, how good's that? So they can hear it out there, supposed to see it. Of course, once again, we're episode 49. Episode 50
like
next
I
week.
said, PC 49.
Yeah, but episode 50 next week.
Wow.
Just yesterday, we were celebrating 40 shows, and today it's 49. 50 next week.
3 weeks and it's a year.
But if you do include the pilot, this will be our 50th show recorded.
Yep.
Crazy stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Of course, you can join us every single Monday. The podcast goes out on all the major podcasting platforms. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible. The visual element's available on a separate channel, so you can head over there and watch it if you like, instead of just listening. If you're already there watching, hit subscribe. Watch as much of the video as you can. We're going to get the stats up. We're like 700 subs now, over to about 700, 700 something. So we get it to the 1,000, and we're going to get our watch time up by a little bit more, and then we can monetize. Woo! Of
make
course,
all about 5 cents a week.
Yeah, no, it should be better, more than that. Hopefully,
$5.
Yeah. We've migrated. No, I said that. But you can find me on the regular YouTube channel over at Dave Lee Down Under. I'm on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm on Letterboxd. This guy here's not on any of it. So
nope.
don't even bother looking for him at this point.
No interest.
If you want to write to the show, you can shoot an email to daveleepod@gmail.com. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, you can leave a review.
Only good ones,
and a rating. Only the good ones, because they
want good ones.
They help.
Yep. Especially during lockdown, you get all depressed and
all
that
tough.
sort of shit.
Mental health.
And then we get
it's a real serious issue.
Reviews. Oh no, it's a serious issue.
Yeah. But
a lot of people suffering with it.
Yeah, it's
family
tough
and friends
times.
and God knows what.
We did get a good review this week, though.
Woo!
Yeah. This one, the description, or the we call it the title. My hat is feeling very uncomfortable today. There we go.
Too tight or something?
No, it's all right. I just didn't put it on properly. There we go. So anyway,
mine's nice and comfy. My
oh yeah, your Patriots hat.
Patriots hat.
Fucking hell.
And I'm a Patriots
Tragic.
top too.
Yeah.
I got that on. The NFL starts this weekend, of course.
Yep.
As we speak, the Buccaneers are playing.
Well, 2 days ago.
Oh, as we record.
3 days ago, yeah. As we're recording on the Friday, yeah.
I got my my Tom Brady top on.
Yeah.
It was a bit tragic that I was still wearing a Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm still wearing a Tom Brady top.
Yeah, but here's even more tragic. You refuse to wear an AFL Guernsey because you think it's tragic, and you think only younger people should be wearing the Guernseys. But you are kitted up in your NFL gear.
No, but see the difference is these are nice and loose. I got a fat gut.
You can get a loose AFL one. You just buy an extra size.
But once I get my treadmill and I start doing a bit of punching out the miles, kilometres, whatever you call it, lose a bit of weight, I'll get a jumper and wear one.
Fair enough. It's your goal.
Sure.
You've got one, actually.
I do have one, signed one.
Just signed.
Signed by one of my favourite, Michael Hurley.
Yeah. Anyway, at the risk of turning this to sportscast.
So I think it's a bit, it might be a bit tragic that I'm still wearing a Tom Brady top.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who still are.
Yeah, exactly right. Of course, it's his second year at the Buccaneers and sadly missing. But we've got a new boy now.
Yeah.
So forwards we go. But it's hard to get NFL stuff here in Australia.
Oh, I assume it wouldn't be now, surely.
No, there's still very limited stuff. If you want some good stuff, you got to import it. In fact, this one This one my brother bought for me when he was over there. He bought it at One Patriot Place at the ground.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go Patriots.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Move on.
Anyway, as I was saying, we did get a good review this week.
Oh, awesome.
The title was Dave is a Natural Entertainer.
Ooh.
It says,
wanker.
Yeah, well, that too. It says, I love listening to Dave's voice. His enthusiasm and energy is so enjoyable. And then there's his expansive knowledge and passion for all things entertainment. If you're strapped for time and can't digest a longer podcast episode, his YouTube content is even more entertaining. Dave is the whole package. Oh, thanks so much. This comes in from Lee Living. Someone I actually know. Is it? Yeah. Lee Livingston. She is a very well-respected journalist here in Australia. She's fantastic. She's been working for years and years. And she has a podcast that she hosts with her friend Tim called Popcorn Podcast, which is really great. They do really short-form podcasts.
Right.
So it's like 5 to 10 minute sort of reviews.
They don't wrap it on for 2 hours like
no, exactly right. No, they do small little reviews and stuff. They do interviews. They talk about trailers, all that kind of stuff. Their stuff's fantastic. And Lee is really lovely. And I've spoken to Tim briefly as well, but they're fantastic. And if you're in the market to just listen to some little smaller podcasts every now and then.
I should get on and have a listen.
Yeah, they're quite good. They're quite good. If you've got like 5 or 10 minutes to spare and you don't have the 2 hours.
Oh, I don't think I've got 5 or 10 minutes anywhere in my life.
You can pluck it out and have a listen to them. But thanks to Lee for writing in.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I wrote into theirs as well, left a little review for them too. So
you scratch mine and I'll scratch yours.
Yeah, exactly right. Pretty much. We're doing well in the charts this week.
Ooh.
We number 6 film reviews podcast of all time in Australia.
If you're talking about charts, you should be putting on a Casey Kasem voice. He used to do the top 40 on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Many years ago, of course.
Yeah. Of course, my listeners might know Casey Kasem better as the voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. But yeah. Anyway, so in the charts this week, number 6 film reviews podcast of all time in Australia.
Geez, there mustn't be many.
No. Well, the film reviews category is not the main film category.
Okay.
There's a film category, film and TV. But talking about that, we slipped into the charts for that one for the first time this week.
Ooh.
We're at 164.
True, out of 164.
Probably. But no, we slipped in there, so that's not bad. Doing okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Picking up. This week's episode, last week's episode was listened. There was a bit of a spike. Don't know what happened there, but there you go. Thanks to the listeners.
Awesome.
If you're new, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Whatever else, we appreciate it.
Yeah, whatever platform you're
Yeah.
putting up with us on.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, we talking about YouTube. I'm close to 100,000 subscribers.
You have?
No, I'm close to.
I thought you said you crossed.
No.
I thought, what?
No, but
did that happen?
I think if it keeps tracking this way, by the time this podcast goes out, I probably will have crossed over. But I'm not. I'm gonna be very careful. It's over 99,600 something at the time of recording this. So
awesome.
I think we should clear the 100,000 at least this week. I won't celebrate it just yet, but next week, hey, we can celebrate 50 podcasts and potentially 100,000 subscribers. There you go.
And when do you get play button?
Apparently, I hear from them within like a week.
Really?
And then it might take like 3 months to get it.
Oh, well, the way the bloody postal system is, of course, going to take
I
3
know.
months.
Hey, let's talk about that fucking postal system. Hey, whoa, mate. So I was talking like last week, I had like a whole bunch of shit just sitting in, what do you call it, airports around the country.
Yep.
Heaps of stuff. And as it turned out, Ozpost postponed parcel post last weekend over the like sort of Friday through Tuesday just to kind of get through some of it. And then on the Wednesday, a whole bunch of shit wound up on the front doorstep.
Yeah.
So a bunch of stuff cleared, thankfully.
I wasn't home, so I didn't get any of it.
No, yeah. But a bunch of other stuff has gone missing or is just sitting
Out
around.
in the ether somewhere.
Yeah. I had one order from... I placed 2 orders from JB Hi-Fi a week ago. Remember we spoke about this last week?
That's right.
The first order, they were both placed with express shipping and they were supposed to come with toll. the courier.
Yep.
First one arrived very next morning, less than 24 hours after I'd placed the order. Yeah. Second order, just sitting there, according to the tracking, hadn't been picked up. Shipment had been created, hadn't been picked up. Thinking what's going on. So I got into toll yesterday morning, called them up. Took me an hour to get through, by the way, because I kept ringing. They kept hanging up on me. I fucking hate that when you sit in the line and it goes boop and then it hangs up. You're like, what the fuck? So and then I got through to someone. They're like, oh, we'll put you through to the correct department. I was like, all right, waiting. Bloop, hang up. Fucking hell. Call back. It took an hour just going through this loop. Finally got into someone and they were like, oh, yeah, we see on our end that the parcel hasn't been picked up, but you're going to have to call JB Hi-Fi and organise with them another pickup of the parcel so that you can get it. But I can't take the directive from you. You have to get JB to contact us. So fucking hell. So I called JB Hi-Fi. Took an hour to get through to them. Again, 3 or 4 times I had to call because it just kept dropping out. Finally got through to someone. The girl on the other end was like, we can see on our end that it has been picked up, but we don't know what's going on, so we need to raise an investigation. So they raise an investigation, and they're like, we'll get back to you as soon as we know anything. Haven't heard back. So who knows what's happened with that. Not too worried about it because if it's gone missing or whatever else,
it'll be replaced.
They'll replace it.
Exactly
So that's perfectly fine. Amazon ordered like a month ago, came into the country 2 weeks ago, into Queensland, and then was on its way to Melbourne to be delivered. Hasn't turned up. Called Ozpost. I was like, just want to double check on this. I mean, I understand there's delays at the moment. Could be delayed. She was like, yeah, I can see here that it was scheduled for delivery like a week and a half ago and it hasn't been delivered, obviously, so we need to raise an investigation. So there's another investigation over through Ozpost trying to figure out what's happened. Again, not too worried. It's just Amazon. I'll get a refund and have to replace the order. That's okay. It's a pain in the ass, but it's fine. The other order I'm a little bit more worried about is the one that's come from my pal Derek overseas.
Yeah.
Listen to the podcast, all that stuff, gets me a bunch of stuff. My Disney Movie Club exclusive, I ordered through him a couple of $100 worth of stuff I paid for. Obviously, I didn't make him pay for it. I've been talking about this over the last couple of weeks, been ping-ponging back and forth between here and America. Now, it's apparently in Sydney. I got an update on the weekend saying, yes, it's in Sydney. So I spoke to Ozpost. I was like, just double check. And it's actually updated in my Ozpost account now where it says, yes, the Ozpost have it. So that's the first good sign. So I was like, because I'm dealing with 2 tracking numbers, the USPS tracking number and the Ozpost. So obviously USPS hands it over to Ozpost at this end. And the Ozpost tracking number hadn't updated, but the USPS one was showing me going back and forth. Anyway, so it's finally coming to the Ozpost thing where it's like updated, it's in Sydney. I was like, can I just get you to double check that you have it, that it's in the country? And she's like, oh, yes, I see. It's in a container at Sydney Airport waiting to clear customs. And it's been like a week. I said, can you tell me how long it's going to take? She's like, oh, I don't know. We've got delays at the moment, all this stuff. And so as far as I'm aware, it's there. It's just waiting for processing. But every time I've had an order that is sitting on the pallet waiting for processing for like a week or two, is red flags.
God knows where that is.
Who knows?
Is it? It's in a shipping container waiting to go through customs. Yeah. Is that one of their bullshit excuses again?
Well, like I said.
Like that last one.
Like I said, every time I've had an order where it's sitting on a pallet waiting for clearance for like a week, it's a red flag. Yeah. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt because everything's so fucked at the moment. Who knows? Maybe they've got a backlog of international pallets that are just sitting there waiting for clearance. It's been in the post for about a month and a half, maybe a little bit less than a month and a half, which sometimes is a fairly usual time to receive stuff from overseas. And sometimes, stuff might sit on a pallet and you're just not privy to it.
Yeah, that's right.
So Because honestly, how could it take a month for an item to go from there to here and delivery? There's got to be a point in between there where it's just sitting on a pallet.
Has to be. So,
fingers crossed. Hopefully we get another update very soon. We'll keep you updated here on the podcast. Hopefully next week we can celebrate 50 shows, 100,000 subs, and the delivery of my parcel finally.
But we had a really bad one a few years ago, remember? I think it was came from Canada. Took bloody months.
Oh, it was years ago.
Months, didn't it?
No, but because he sent that by sea.
Oh.
It took 2 months to arrive by sea. It was cheaper for the guy to send. It was like a record I ordered on eBay. It was cheaper for him to send it by sea than by air. to send by sea took 2 months, 2.5 months or something crazy. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens.
Yes,
hopefully it'll get
exactly.
here,
Yeah,
and I'm sure
hopefully.
it'll work out.
We did get one great thing in the post this week, though, which arrived safe and sound.
What was that?
PS5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, the bloody...
We got the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, what do you call them? The bloody almost impossible thing to get.
I posted it on Twitter. I was like, ooh. I
Yeah.
used the emoji with the eyes doing the ooh thing. Everyone's like, how did you get a PlayStation? I feel a little bad because we really had no interest. Well, we've been interested in getting one, but we thought we'll just wait.
Yeah.
No rush. And then we kind of got the new 4K TV, and you kind of were like, maybe we get a PlayStation 5, we can get one, try and figure out how to get one. And I was like, I'll try and figure out how to get one. We had one within a week.
Yeah.
When there's all these, there's hundreds, if not millions of people out there trying to get their hands on one for like a year, and then we're just like, oh, swoop in and get one.
See, I'd heard that Big W and Target were getting them. Mm-hmm. And I'd heard that Big W had a shipment about a week earlier.
Yeah.
So I got onto their website, and there was like a little what do you call it? Like a little
symbol
or something, emblem on it that said unavailable.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, it changed to coming soon, and I thought, they must be getting a shipment.
Yeah.
And then you went online,
yeah,
and found some.
Yeah, it's this Twitter account. So tips for anyone out there in Australia who's trying to get your hands on a PlayStation 5. This works. It's not a scam. It sounds very scammy, but this is how we got the PlayStation 5. It's called PS5 Stock Updates or something. PS5 Stock Updates Australia or something. Just search like PS5 Australia. It's like the number one account that comes up. It's this guy who's set up a bot that trails the Australian retailers, and every time this bot detects that the retailer has stock, it sends out a tweet. And it tells you it's got stock. But this guy's also getting this intel where someone's tipping him off as to this store's probably going to get stock within the next week. So he will provide like manual updates, but he has this bot trailing the websites, and then bang, as it goes out, it goes out. So there's been all these little spot drops where they might only drop, I don't know, it must be a small handful because they literally sell out in seconds. The websites don't advertise it. It just drops, and if you know, you know.
Yep.
So this website sends it out. We missed a drop on Amazon a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, yep.
Got on. He goes, yes, it's available. Put in the cart. By the time I went to check out, they were gone. But then there was this, he tipped off that, there's probably going to be stock at Big W today. So I just kept my eye on it. I put notifications on. So put your notifications on. You'll get the ping as soon as it goes out. And then, it pinged. Big W was like, shit. Got it? Yep, it's in the car. Yelled out, hey, do you want the PlayStation 5? Yes, do it. So then fucking went through the cart, done it, got it. And then it disappeared from the website. So there must have been like this really small window. Yeah. But the status of the order come up as error initially. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, what's happened? But it came through.
But I got on my bank account, and
the
money had gone and all that sort of stuff. So we thought, okay, well at least they got the money, and but then it was about a week or so later.
Well, it took a week to process it, so we were starting to think, maybe they've just taken a pre-order and not told us. Yeah. But no, it arrived last week. There you go. Yeah, it was on the Saturday. Yeah, it came on Saturday morning, Brandon.
And we had 4 orders come that day, didn't we?
Yeah, so weird.
It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're really lucky to get our hands on it.
Yeah. So, tips.
So, if people have been trying to get them for ages and they can't get their hands on them.
And then we just swoop in and got one. Sorry. But, good tip. Find that Twitter account, put the notifications on, and the guy's good. I've still got the notifications on because I'm just interested. I'm really curious to see. There's this drop on Amazon or something. There was a drop, and his bot bugged out and sent out 18 notifications. Yeah, everyone was really annoyed. Like, stop! Just stop! And then there's some other bug in it which was flagging Amazon as having stock, but it was like scalpers trying to sell it for like $1.5 grand. Just be careful. Just be vigilant, obviously.
Yeah, you'll get them. His
eventually. Links too are like affiliate links, so he earns commissions on. Yeah, so he's making commissions. But fucking.
We got it for normal retail.
He's getting you Yeah, you're not out of pocket any extra.
No, exactly right.
I think it's the Amazon one. So I don't think there's like commissions for the big W stuff or anything.
Thought there would be.
But yeah, so if you buy it through Amazon, whatever, the guy's doing the Lord's work of sending this little bot. Crazy. But there you go. Yeah, PlayStation 5 sitting out there, been playing it.
It's awesome.
20 minutes in our intro. Very quickly before we do move on to the movie stuff, I got my first vaccine this week.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I got my second.
You got your second? Yeah, you're fully vaxxed now. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah. You might have to get that third booster shot.
Probably get a booster in, I don't know, probably 6 months or 12 months' time, whatever it's supposed to be.
But you were fine. You had barely any reaction to it.
Bugger all. The first shot I just got a bit tired and had hot feet, which was really bizarre.
Yeah.
And just a bit of pain around the side where I was jabbed.
Yeah.
But the second time round,
nothing.
Just a slight bit of pain on the where I got jabbed, and that was gone in a day.
I had probably within half an hour of getting jabbed, I had like what sounded like this like chattering in my ear. It was like someone just like reading out like where I was, what I was doing.
Just one of those many voices that are in there.
No, it almost sounded like Bill Gates. Like,
oh God,
giving like sort of directions as to where I was, what I was doing. Really weird.
Could he tell you where all his money is? So
I don't know. Yeah, it was like just like narrating everywhere I was, like GPS. And then it was like the next day I checked my phone and there was this new like 5G connection on there, which was Dave's left arm. And I connected to it, and not a great signal, fairly weak signal. But hopefully by the time we get the second shot, I'll have the full 5G coverage. No. Fucking hell. These anti-vaxxers is bullshit, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. I was okay. I was like fine.
Yeah.
I had pain at the injection site, as they call it.
Testicles haven't fallen off yet?
No. Thank God. Knock wood. But no, pain at the injection site, which is like what they say is like the most common thing, because that's the sign that your body's building the antibodies at the site that the foreign bodies has entered. Other than that, I was
the tracking capsule.
Yeah. The second day, I was tired, but not incredibly tired. I don't know. Maybe I was just tired. I'm a generally tired person.
You had a couple of late
nights
nights that week too.
Yeah.
A couple of days leading up to it.
By about 6 o'clock, I was quite like. Usually, I sometimes I work till 7 or 8, but by 6, I was like, I can't work anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just tired. I don't know. I felt a bit fuzzy, but other than that was it for me. And then
you had 2 nights that you didn't get to bed till 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's what I mean. So I'm probably just a generally tired man.
Maybe.
But other than that, I was okay. The pain in the arm is completely gone, and I got the vax on Monday. It's now Friday. The pain was gone by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I can't even see where I was jabbed, but definitely jabbed, and there you go.
Yeah.
So I was perfectly fine. You were perfectly fine. I am hearing stories from other people who react in different ways.
And you're booked in for your second?
I'm booked in for my second in 5 weeks, essentially
just
now.
Just over 5 weeks, yeah.
So anyway, the moral of the story is, if you can, get vaxxed.
Yep.
Help us out of this.
Got to do it.
Do it for yourself. Do it for everyone else around you. Do the good thing. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly safe. I'm not a medical professional, but... as they're saying, it's perfectly fine. It's safe. I've been fine. We're both fine. Go and get it done.
Yep, everyone we know who's had it's been fine. Has not had any issues. My parents and
heard from a few people who had some minor reactions to it, but other than that, it's perfectly safe and it's good. Do the good thing.
But I reckon the second one for you is the where you're most likely to
get a kick in the ass.
Whereas because I had the AstraZeneca,
it's flipped.
It's usually the first one.
Yeah,
but the second one we had bugger all.
Yeah.
Which is good.
There you go.
So get out and do it, please.
There you go. Let's talk about the movie stuff, which is what this podcast is usually about. And we're 25 minutes in.
Oh, we better move on.
We better talk about it. There's a bit of stuff to talk about today. What we've been watching this week. Oh, jeez. I almost forgot.
What a picture. Good picture. Yeah. That'd be so much fun.
What we've been watching.
All over the place today.
Yeah, I know. It's probably that tracking device messing with the brain a little bit. Catalog titles this week. I finally got to my pile because there's been so much delay in stock, delay in the post. It's been taking a little while for the stock to come in from the distributors.
Yep.
So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm going to be late on those. I had to say them yesterday. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to it's going to take me longer than normal to get this stuff because of all the delays. And like, we understand. We understand there's delays in getting this stuff out. Anyway, so I did get to my pile. I watched the Canine films. Jim Belushi and his dog. He's a cop and he's got his dog in the Canine unit. First movie's fun. Good, I liked it. I'm sure I've seen it many years ago when I was a kid. 1989, I think. The second two are pretty average.
Well, they're watchable.
Well, sort of. The third one's pretty
We don't want to
shit.
think or...
Well, I didn't realise they were straight-to-video movies, the second two.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, straight-to-video. They were made 10 years later.
Oh,
Second one was like
really?
1999, and then the third was 2001. But yeah, so I enjoyed them. They were okay, but the
Yeah, they're good fun.
2 and 3 weren't great.
No.
One's
first
good.
one's
One's
pretty good.
I'm sure I have seen it at some
That's
point.
fun.
I watched, oh gosh, guess this. I finally got around to watching Xanadu.
Glad you
Now,
watched it.
this
No, I didn't.
has Olivia Newton-John, who's all right. You got to love her because she's an Australian
Oh, yeah,
icon,
exactly
and
right.
she's great. She's done the hard yards, and she's just a wonderful person
Yeah.
around. Great performer, etc., etc. It has Gene Kelly, one of my favourites. This was his last film. He did a few like TV things after it, but this is his last film. He did a lot of the choreography and stuff for it. Great. Music by ELO, the Electric Light
Yeah, that's
Orchestra.
right.
It's great. I love them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Animation, there's like a small animated sequence in there, directed by Don Bluth.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's a like 5-10 minute sequence animation by Don Bluth, who was one of the great Disney animators who led a mutiny and went and formed his own animation house in the 1980s and made all these great animated films. So it has everything going for it, but it's fucking awful.
Oh, yeah.
It is one of the worst movies ever.
It's no fun.
Terrible. But I had to watch it I knew it wasn't going to be great going into it, but I had to watch it because just for all these things. Gene Kelly, big fan. Don Bluth, big fan. ELO, big fan. Olivia Newton-John, gotta love her. But yeah, terrible
Probably
movie.
right if you're a 12-year-old girl, maybe.
Probably, but I've finally ticked that one off. Or just people who like fucking disco music and shit
Yeah.
like that. Really. ABBA.
I would imagine it'd be really, really badly dated too.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Really dated.
Like all the, they're probably wearing fluoro.
Oh, yeah.
Fluoro clothing.
Completely
and
like
leg
80s.
warmers.
Yeah. Disco music, that like effect that
Awful.
they do where like they're singing and then it like they like
Like a multi-layer.
like
sort of-
multi-layer but like in different colours and stuff and then weird, crazy
awful.
movie. I can't, I knew it was going to be bad, but multiple reasons I wanted to watch it. Gene Kelly, probably the top of why I was like, I have to watch it because like his last movie, I just love Gene Kelly. Anyway, so I got that one out of the way. They're still a bit old, but we watched Crimson Peak finally, 2015. Tom Hiddleston, Mia Wasikowska, who's an Australian actress. She was in Alice in Wonderland. And Jessica Chastain was in it as well.
Yep. Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, yeah.
I like Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, what'd you think of this one? What you saw of it?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro directed this as well.
Did he? What else did he do?
He has done like Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water, stuff that
There you go.
watch. It's like haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth, but apparently it's incredible. Look, check it out. I guarantee you, it's got like a fucking 8 something.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, it's
Pan-
probably got a
There you go.
cult following, has it?
Well, it does, but apparently it's just a really amazing movie.
Yeah, 8.2.
8.2, yeah. It's apparently incredible. He's a visionary filmmaker. I've got to give him that. He's terrific. He knows what he's doing. But his movies have been like a bit touch and go, what I've seen anyway. But yeah, Crimson Peak,
We'll have to check it out.
one I've wanted to see for a long time. It was all right. I think this one did get mixed reviews when it first came out.
Yeah.
Which was why I kind of put off watching it. I was overseas when it came out. I wanted to see it. Alicia wasn't that interested. I was like, whatever. I'll watch it on Blu-ray one day. And finally got around to it. It was okay.
It's not one I'll ever watch again.
No.
That's for sure.
Talking of Bride Wars, we finally watched. Wasn't that bad.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. It was
Good cast.
It was just a Sunday night
Well,
film.
yeah, just put an easy one on.
Turn the brain off and
Kate Hudson, Anne Hathaway.
Yep.
Chris Pratt.
Yep.
A bunch of others. I can't remember.
Chris Pratt looked young.
Yeah, very young.
Because it was 2006?
Something like that, yeah. It was before Guardians.
Yeah.
It was all right, but it's like typical sort of that kind of thing that you would imagine.
2009.
I lost my attention at the end. The last 20 minutes, I was like, I'm out. I'm checked out. But most of it was okay.
I was about 20 minutes in when I checked out.
Yeah, it was okay. It was all right, but it's what I expected.
But it was just a film to put on, just to relax before the week ahead.
Pretty much. Not that we do much during the week.
Well,
just more sitting on the couch watching TV.
Yeah, well,
for some
in the house left to get up and go to work on the Monday.
Yeah. And now another one that I will never watch again in my life, Hotel Artemis. Not a fan. It's pretty crap, actually. It's probably how I would say. It's one that I've been looking at and thinking, I don't think it's going to be that great. You had it up.
Yeah, I know.
It had a huge cast, like a really great cast. Jodie Foster, Dave Bautista. It had, what's his name? Jeff Goldblum was in it. Sterling K. Brown, Brian Tyree Henry. Terrific cast.
Butella?
Yeah, from the dreaded Mummy film with Tom Cruise. She was the Mummy. Charlie Day.
Kenneth Choi.
Yeah. Huge cast. Was crap. It's like set in a dystopian future. The whole world's falling apart, and there's like this hotel, this derelict hotel, but this one person's working out of it, and she's like a nurse, and she fixes up all the criminals, and they come in. And
I'd watch that again before Crimson Peak, though.
I don't think I would. That was.
I wouldn't watch either. I wouldn't watch either again.
No.
But I'd watch that.
I think I'd watch Crimson Peak again. To be honest, I enjoyed that more than this. This was crap. I was bored. It just bored me, the whole movie. I was bored. It's like, this is not interesting. Crimson Peak, at least, beautifully shot, gorgeous. The set designs and everything, incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up watching all the special features, like how they crafted the sets and just, stunning. Hotel Artemis. Just bored. Anyway.
Well.
That's about what we watched this week. Some newer movies. Well, some documentaries. We got to a couple of documentaries this week. These are all fairly new to streaming, so if you want to check them out. Happier Than Ever, a love letter to Los Angeles. This was the Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
I would really call it a documentary. It's a
what would you call it?
Concert film.
Concert film, yeah.
Goes for 45 minutes, maybe about an hour. It's her full album, the new album, Happier Than Ever, which is an amazing album. And it is essentially her and her brother Phineas performing the album live at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, of course. And some of it's just her and Phineas and a drummer, and then other parts they've got like a full symphony orchestra behind them.
Do you know who the orchestra was?
I can't remember the name of the guy who... I think it was the Philharmonic Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
But the composer's incredible. The film was directed by Robert Rodriguez. You know Robert Rodriguez?
Probably.
Sin City.
Oh, yeah.
Spy Kids. Did the El Mariachi films.
Yeah. Oh, that's
terrific filmmaker, visual filmmaker, and stunningly shot. Beautifully shot film. Gustavo Dudamel, that's the name of the composer, yeah. Gorgeously shot.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Stunning. Just each little song was almost like its own little thing, but they performed it without an audience or anything, so obviously COVID times. But it was beautiful.
She's an incredibly talented girl, that one.
Yeah.
She's only, 20, maybe?
I think she's 20, yeah. No, I think she's 20 this year. Incredible performer and just musician, writer.
Yeah, 20 in December.
Yeah,
so she's 19 when it was made.
Her and her brother both incredibly talented.
My God.
But yeah, I really loved it. I thought it was great. If you're a fan of Billie Eilish, you'll like it. If you're not a fan of Billie Eilish, you won't like it. But
that's right.
But beautifully, but visual. But if you're just a visual artist interested in visuals, it's worth looking at. Again, it's like less than an hour. Just the way they've done the lighting, some of the filming techniques and stuff. Some of it's animated. It almost looks like that animation from the Marvel What If program. Yeah. Obviously, both Disney productions. So they probably had the same animation house animating for it. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was quite good.
You're a big fan, though.
I wouldn't say big fan, but I am a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I love her music.
I don't mind her stuff.
And I think Robert Rodriguez is just incredible. So it's
I
like
wonder how much input she had in it.
Oh, complete, probably.
She would have to have, I think, because it really sort of, when you sort of watch it, you could sort of imagine that's come out of her head.
Yeah, probably. I imagine it would have been let's sit down, let's talk. This is how I envision it. And then he's gone, this is how we can make it happen, sort of thing.
Yeah, probably.
Well, here's my input. Here's what I think we can do. And then, fairly collaborative sort of thing, I think. And just I love that idea of like the meeting of minds between two artists from different sides of the spectrum coming together and trying to make something happen. Yep. That's why I love Fantasia so much. It's like this collaboration between Walt Disney and so many other artists, the people who did the music and all that, just coming together and going, how can we make this work visually? From all these different, musicians and filmmakers and whatever. It's great. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely worth checking this one out. Again, it's very short, and I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing, did I?
I think so. Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
watched it over 2 nights.
Yeah.
Because I put it on really late the first night. I was like, I'll watch it a little bit, and then I ended up watching like half an hour. Like I'll finish it tomorrow.
But I really liked the animated parts of it.
It's good.
With the animation in the car and stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
We also watched just so that's on Disney Plus right now. It's gone up like a week ago. One we watched on Apple TV Plus, 9/11 Inside the President's War Room. This, if you're overseas, if you're in the UK, this was exclusive to the BBC, so you can probably watch it on the BBC iView, whatever it's called. I don't know about the US, probably Apple as well. It's a really great documentary about 9/11 from sort of the perspective of George Bush and his team.
His
team.
His war room, basically. Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah. I mean, not to get too political or anything, whatever you think about George Bush, the administration, the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, all that kind of stuff, whatever. I think it's just a really interesting look into how a presidential team deals with something like that. Sort of like a minute-by-minute account.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
And how he dealt with it as well. Because he, from where we sit, he looks like he's a bit, bit of a, what would you say? Bit of a,
dunce.
Not the smartest,
no.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah,
let's say. But I think he dealt with it really well.
Yeah.
Through watching that doco and seeing how he dealt with it, and the people around him dealt with it and stuff, and he was really quite forthright and quite angry when it happened, and he just wanted revenge, and the people around him sort of settled him.
No, settle down, man.
He wanted to get straight back to Washington so he could get to work, and they wouldn't allow him to get back to Washington, and because it was too dangerous at the time, and so they diverted the plane a couple of times, and they kept on the move, and
then they got like fake intel that there was someone on Air Force One that was going to take the plane down.
That's right.
So then they were like questioning who on the team is now gonna. It's like, is this an inside job or whatever else? So
because they had journalists and everything on that plane,
yeah.
So they made the journalists sit in their seats and they weren't allowed to move or do anything. What
I thought was crazy, I can't remember who it was, but one of the part of his cabinet. When they got back to Washington and they have the decoy of the chopper. Yeah. So they have 2 planes. They take the president out in one and they have the decoy.
Yep.
And he was either a journalist or someone who was on Bush's team said that he was in the decoy chopper and you had they were flanked by other like Air Force fighter jets and stuff. And he was just thinking what happens if one of these planes that's taken over by a terrorist comes up beside it, and he's like, I just wanted to hold up a sign saying he's in the other one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But it's just a really fascinating just kind of look into the human psyche and how a variety of different people dealt with the moment. I saw it got absolutely panned by people online because people this is just like a bunch of war criminals patting themselves on the back for, and trying to justify their actions and stuff. I'm not even going to go down that route, but it's just a really fascinating look into.
Yeah, I loved it.
I love politics. I love American politics in particular. I think it's fascinating, and whether it is a Democratic president or a Republican president, I'm so interested in the stories that are behind how these people deal with these things in different ways, these historical moments.
Because the political system there is different.
Oh, yeah, so different.
You know, we're only a nation of, 26 million people, and they've got, 300 million or something.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, you got this one person who becomes pretty much the leader of the free world, really.
The most powerful person in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Who is 1 out of 300 million people.
Yeah.
So there has to be something fairly extraordinary about them to get to that point. Whereas here, oh God, we change prime ministers every 12 months. You know, prime ministers and premiers and stuff every 12 months or so. In fact, there was a time there where we had about 4 or 5 in the space of about 3 years.
Was that scene in The Simpsons, that Simpsons episode where they go to Australia and Bart prank calls the Prime Minister to ask him about if the water's running backwards or whatever? And the guy, like the Prime Minister's assistant comes running out, is like in the middle of the outback, and the Prime Minister's, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister's sitting in the stream in his budgie smugglers in like a pool tyre thing, sitting there with a can of beer. That's pretty much it. It's pretty accurate.
That's about right.
But yeah, compared to the American president.
Just an interesting side note on that, where you're talking about, you know, sitting on a tyre and drinking beer or whatever. When Alicia came here, she couldn't believe how close she could get to our Prime Minister and stuff. You could walk down the street next to them. Yeah. Whereas obviously she can't do that.
No way. They have like their whole security team and shit, and you would never be anywhere in public where you'd just be... Because we did what's called the Dreamtime match, the Dreamtime of the G, which is an Indigenous round in our football here. And they do a march from Federation Square, which is in the middle of the city of Melbourne, down to the MCG, Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's just like a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
And this Dreamtime of the G, the Prime Minister shows up and is walking alongside everyone. Yeah. And Alicia couldn't believe, like, we were like, I was like, come over here. I was like, we'll just like walk next to the Prime Minister. She's like, you can't do that. I was like, yes, you can. He had a couple of like intel people with him.
Oh, yeah,
but
security
very lax.
Detail with him.
He's just walking with people. I was like, check this out. I'll get a selfie
and people
with the Prime
getting selfies. And
I was like, check this out. I'll get a selfie with the Prime Minister. Hey, Prime Minister. She couldn't believe it.
And he's happy to do it.
Yeah, he's like, hey.
And it's pretty much every Prime Minister here.
Pretty much.
You know, but geez,
that's a bit different.
Wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh, no.
With the President or the Prime Minister in the UK.
No,
that's for sure.
No, pretty lax. But there you go. So it's very different. And I'm so interested in that stuff. But a very well-made documentary. So many, like, a lot of the visuals we've seen before, like the videos and stuff over and over again. But most of the pictures I had never seen. Pictures that were taken inside Air Force One or at the White House or in the bunkers and all that kind of shit. Yeah. So fascinating. And it's at this point in history now where they're allowed to divulge a little bit more information.
Yeah, that's right.
Biden is about to release like a whole bunch of previously secret documentation. Was part of his like promise to get into office that he will release all this 9/11 stuff. So a lot more stuff's coming out now, and I just thought it was interesting to hear it from, would you say, the horse's mouth, as they say. Good doco.
Really good doco.
Check it out.
Worth watching.
Really well made. Good story. Good tension. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And really, of course, this weekend's the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, it is. So there's a bunch of stuff. There's a Netflix series as well, 6-part series I want to watch. 9/11. Be interesting.
Look into that.
Yeah. Other than that, we also watched one called Val. This was on Amazon Prime. This is probably more in line with what people listen to this podcast for.
Exactly.
I loved this.
Yeah, it was really good.
I loved it.
Yeah.
This is the documentary on Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about the guy.
Yep. He's a different piece of work, isn't he?
Yeah. He's one of those actors you see and stuff, and you're like, yeah, I like him. I grew up, the first Batman movie I ever remember going to cinemas was Batman Forever, Val Kilmer. Still like one of my favourite Batman movies, if not my favourite Batman movie, just because of all the nostalgia. And Val Kilmer, I just thought was great. But he's had just a troubled life, just his career, his life, personal life, his career as well. All these hurdles he's had to jump over through his career where he's never quite been satisfied. He had throat cancer not long ago, which I had no idea about.
I didn't know that at all.
Which has obviously affected him in very different, himself personally, obviously, but his career as well has affected that completely different way. It's just a real, again, a dive into the human psyche.
Yeah.
And just this, and he has been filming stuff his whole life.
Since he was a kid.
Yeah, I was like the first person I knew to have a...
The amount of stuff he's got, like...
That's what I mean, yeah.
Like a warehouse full.
But he said he's like the first person he knew to have like a little video camera, like a little handheld camera, Super 8, whatever. And throughout his life, he's just filmed everything. Everything. Just short films as a kid, behind the scenes of all the movies he did, stage shows that he was in when he was a kid, like school shows and drama performances, just everything, like everything you could imagine. And filled a warehouse with all this stuff, and they pulled it all out. And he assumed one day he'd make a movie about his career. It ended up being like this retrospective on just a life. Yeah. And obviously he knows he probably doesn't have long, or he's at that point where he's like, this is probably the end point of my story. Yeah. And he's happy to get the story out there now. Fuck, it's amazing. And narrated by his son. Yeah. Whose voice is very, very similar to his, you know. It's crazy.
But it was really, really well put together. Yeah. You know, I really enjoyed it. I started watching it a little while ago and watched probably half an hour of it. And you'd sort of notice and thought, I want to watch that. I'll watch it again later, you know. So fun. But it was great. It was awesome.
Just amazing. Just emotional, and it makes you happy. It makes you cry a little bit. It makes you it throws you through everything. But I just have such a huge respect for him now. And it surprised me how many movies come up. I was like, oh yeah, he was in that. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's in Top Gun. I've seen Top Gun fucking 20 times. Oh shit, yeah, he was in Top Gun. Oh yeah, he was in that one too.
Second lead in Top Gun.
Yeah. But all these movies are just movies where I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot Val Kilmer was in that. He's just such an understated performer, but he's great in everything.
Yeah, and a couple of really good little behind the scenes. Yeah. Of when they were filming Top Gun. Yeah. It was really good. Yeah, you know, when they're relaxing in the lounge and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
that was really
great on the set of The Island of Dr. Moreau with Marlon Brando and the director, who just the whole production went out of control. And there's a scene where Val Kilmer's fighting with the director, and the camera's still rolling. The director's like, turn that camera off. He's like, no, I want this on record. You've just told us you want to walk off the film. I want this on record. Yeah. It's just crazy stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, it's on Amazon Prime. Definitely check it out. It's like one of the best biopic docos I've ever seen. I loved it.
Yeah, and there was another bit that really got me was when he was doing that stage play, and he was he was going to be lead, and then he was asked to be second lead because
Sean Penn.
No. Who was it?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon was available. He was going to be first. I said, yeah, okay. And he said, can you be third?
Do the second lead.
Can you be third because Sean Penn's available?
Well, yeah, he got first, and then they were like, Kevin Bacon's available. Can you be second? He's like, yeah. And then Sean Penn became available. Like, can you be third? Yeah. So just his whole career was like stuff like that, where he just kept getting knocked down. Yeah. Tombstone's another movie. I was like, oh yeah, he's in Tombstone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was great in Tombstone.
Oh yeah, amazing.
He was really good in
so
that.
Anyway, Val is on Amazon. The 9/11 one is on Apple TV. It's called Inside the President's War, and the Billie Eilish concert film, Disney Plus. Check them all out. They're all great in their own way for various different reasons. Other than that, on television, very briefly, we watched Marvel What If, this week's episode 5, Zombies. What If Zombies? This is like based on the run of comics called Marvel Zombies, which is like, it's just like reimagines the Marvel universe, but they're all zombies.
I'll take you at your word.
Did you not watch this episode?
Yeah, I watched that episode.
Yeah.
The comics I'm talking about.
Yeah. I thought it was a fun one.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was good. I had Paul Rudd was in there as Ant-Man, which was the best part, obviously. Love Paul Rudd. Overall, though, the series I'm not loving.
No, I'm the same.
I don't think I love it.
The first couple were good.
Yeah. I really love that third one, which was like the Avengers getting popped off. Maybe it's just the novelty's worn off. I don't know. I see a lot of people just loving it, like raving, but I can't. I don't know. It's the first thing from Marvel Studios where I've been like, it's a bit, don't love it.
I love the animation and stuff.
Oh, the animation's great. Really, really I love the voice. Most of the voice cast is there and all that. No, it's just not something like, oh yeah, all right, we'll watch this next one.
And if I miss the next one, it's not going to bother me. Yeah. I would think
it's good. It's obviously good, but I don't love it.
No, there were a couple of good ones, but the last.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a mixed bag. we'll keep watching it. Ted Lasso we watched this week. Great as always. That's just what else can you say about it?
Exactly.
Such a bloody good show. No, you go.
I was just saying, I was at work yesterday speaking to a couple of people about it.
Yeah.
And one of them said, "Oh yeah, my mate's told me about that one. He reckons it's really good too." I said, "Mate, you've got to get onto it." And there's another guy there who has only been at the studio for probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 months maybe. Maybe about 3 months or so. And he's a different cat, this one.
Right.
He dresses differently, and he's just a real
artiste,
a real hipster artiste, right? And when I started talking to Alex about it, he pipes, "Oh, yeah, no, that one." Because Alex said, "Oh, what's it on?" I said, "Oh, I can't remember. I think it's on Amazon or something."
Yeah.
And he's piped up and gone, no, it's on Apple, you know. And so it was just bizarre to see him knowing what it was and saying, it's fantastic, you know.
Yeah. No, like I said, I've been saying, every week there's someone else I see on Twitter who's like, "I've finally watched Ted Lasso and I love it." You haven't watched it, fucking watch it. James, who is a regular listener of the podcast and a patron and all that, he got to it late as well. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I got to this." He messaged me. He's like, "I can't believe I got to this so late." I was like, I've been saying it for fucking ages. He's like, he's like, "I smashed it all like the whole season, like fucking like in one drop." But so good. It's the writing in this season's amazing too.
Yeah, it is good.
The character development, the character arcs and stuff is so good. A lot of people are hating it. They're like, "Oh, why are you doing this to this?" Oh, pardon me, hiccup. I won't spoil anything, but people are like, "Oh, why are you doing this to this character?" And it's like, it's development, it's character development. Fucking, it's great. I love it. I think it's so good. This is like my highlight of the week.
And then after talking about what's the guy's name? The character looking like a bloody animated.
Oh, Roy Kent.
Kent.
Oh, you can't
unsee it. Once you got that in your head, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, so
he
funny.
just looks animated. He's obviously not, but
no, obviously not. But he does. You can understand why these crazy people.
Yeah.
Only Murders in the Building as well. We watched the next episode
good.
of that, 4th episode.
That is good.
Great. That's the Steve Martin
It's
one.
like a really good show.
Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Great. And then these little cameos that pop up every now and then.
Yeah.
It's cool. Love that. That's on Disney Plus. Check that one out.
And that's
well.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yeah.
Brother Steve should get into it.
Well, yeah, Steve would love it. But if you're over in the States, it's on Hulu.
Right.
Because it's on Disney Plus Star here.
Right.
There you go. Okay. So with that out of the way, it is now time for this week's Admin Update. Stop laughing.
The bong update.
Oh, okay. I've done it this week. I've split the fucking sound effect down because there's this rumor out there floating around that the sound effect is a bong. It's not a bong. This has started with the world's worst manager, Wacko Jacko, who said, that sound effect is definitely someone ripping a bong. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a guy smoking a cigarette, and then also at the same time, it's pouring a glass, which is you. We
in a glass
recorded
of
you.
ice.
Yeah. And it comes out like... And I said last week, all right, I'm going to prove it once and for all, okay? These are the two sound effects that run concurrently. Guy lighting a cigarette. And then...
Yeah.
There you go. And unfortunately, it comes out like... I'm glad I put an end to that. That's the end. All right,
That's
so
funny.
this week we watched 3 episodes. It was 3 episodes, I think. One last night, one the night before.
One on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 eps. We're nearly finished season 3. Season 2.
So we've got 3 left, haven't we?
Yeah. So
Awesome.
we're getting to season 3 in a couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
it's good. And it gets better and better.
It's so good. I love it.
It gets better and better. The characters just get better and better. And they get deeper and deeper into the shit.
Don is finally getting his comeuppance.
Yep.
He was forced to sleep on the floor, and now he's been kicked out of his own house.
Yep.
For being a dog.
Yep.
So he's finally getting his dues.
Yep.
Which is good because at the beginning we were kind of like, oh, they're really glorifying this dirtbag. Like, am I supposed to like? You're expecting me to like this guy, but he's a real fucking dirtbag.
I think they were just showing what it was like at the time.
Yeah, but now he's finally getting his dues.
Yeah,
and it's really getting good.
And it gets better.
Good. Yeah, I'm keen. So we got, was it like 7 seasons or something? Yeah, really enjoying this one. So much better than that fucking Deadwood. Ugh, hate it, Deadwood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've nearly finished that second season. Hopefully next week we'll be celebrating not only 50 episodes, 100,000 subscribers. What was the other thing? Getting my parcel and
finishing season
2 of Mad Men. So going big celebration all around next week. Make sure to tune in. It's going to be great. Other than that, let's quickly partner highlights. Random Space Media, amazing team. Sent me a whole bunch of stuff this week. If you can see it, if you're watching out there, you can see it. So much stuff. Bunch of new releases they've got that I've been plugging recently. The Resident Evil 4K Blu-ray box set. There's the Jumanji 3D plus Blu-ray. The 3D plus 4K box set, which has got Jumanji Next Level and Welcome to the Jungle. You got the Spider-Man Far From Home Homecoming 4K plus 3D box set, all available right now. But they're very excited because they've just launched this new range of DreamWorks box sets. I think a few of them came out last year, but this is the newest one. It's a 15-movie collection. It's got the 3 Shrek films plus Puss in Boots, Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, and 3, Madagascar 1, 2, 3, and Penguins of Madagascar, and all the How to Train Dragon movies. And then they've got a bunch of these other ones in here as well, which is just 4 movie collections. So they've got ones which is like pretty much all the DreamWorks movies. There's a couple that are missing. But the most exciting ones here is there's like an Aardman collection, which has Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Flushed Away, and then another one which has got Prince of Egypt, El Dorado, Joseph King of Dreams, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. Only ways to get those ones in Australia, exclusively through Random Space Media. If you want to go over there until the end of the month, until the end of September, you can use Dream15 at checkout, and you get 15% off any one of the DreamWorks titles. If you place an order with any DreamWorks titles plus any other just random stuff, you'll only get 15% off the DreamWorks titles. So it only applies to those ones right there. So yeah, head over to randomspacemedia.com, use Dream15, get 15% off any of the DreamWorks collections. Great stuff. After I had procured all of them myself, I imported all of them about a year ago. So thanks.
Because you wanted to get your hands on them all so you could watch them all.
Yeah.
All that sort of shit.
So I imported a bunch from Amazon, the ones that weren't available here. But I think I used commission on them, so I was not out of pocket. But then all the other ones that were available here, I probably spent a couple of $100 to get them, and now I've got.
And some of them we had trouble finding too. We had to go from one store to the next to try and get them. Yeah,
but anyway, they're now available from Random Space Media. Thanks to the guys filling them out. I've got to make a video on them over the weekend, so I'll put that up if you're more interested to take a closer look at them. Kicks.com.au, again, I teamed up with them in celebration of Fast 9 hitting 4K ultra high definition and Blu-ray and DVD. You can head over to kicks.com.au, pick up a copy of that one right there. And the code DAVE15 is still active. I don't know how much longer it's active for. I thought it was supposed to finish at the end of the month, but it's still active. DAVE15.
September, though. End of September, probably.
No, it was supposed to be the beginning of September, but it's still active. DAVE15, 15% off at checkout for anything, not just Fast 9, anything. Store-wide, pre-orders, sale product, etc. Via Vision, we've got the giveaway going away at the moment as well. Thanks to Via Vision, we have got a copy of The Invaders, the complete collection on DVD right there, which is a great sci-fi series from the 1960s. Alfred Hitchcock Presents box set seasons 5 through 7, and then a couple of like classic movie box sets, which I can't get out of the box. There we go. We've got the Alan Ladd Collection Volume 3 and the Maritime Movie Classics. Bunch of classic movies set in the high seas. So you can head over, you can either send me an email at daveleepod@gmail.com, or you can go over to my Instagram and enter on the Instagram post because I got a post about it. Just tell me what your favorite classic sci-fi thriller or like action adventure movie is, and I'll pick a random one and we'll draw it a couple of weeks' time. I think the 22nd, I'm going to close that one out. So there you go. A few things that just give them back to the community.
And that's Australia only?
That's Australia only, the competition, I should say, because I have to send them out myself. And they're not
You're not
very
allowed
keen
to send
on
them
sending stuff
overseas
overseas.
anyway.
Yeah, exactly right. So there you go. All right. With that said, it is now time for our favourite time of the show, which is... Or...
All right.
It's our favourite little segment, a little game that we like to play. Hey... we should have held off until next week to do this because it's episode 20, Shada All Right. Number 20.
Geez, it would have been...
We could have done it next week.
Could have been a celebration of 100,000.
Yeah. 50 shows, 100,000 subs, the package, the... what was that last?
End of season 2.
End of season 2, and Shada All Right 20.
We'll
do a
that.
delayed... 21. You celebrate 21, don't you? 21st birthday.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
Shada All Right will be turning 21 next week. Yes. Celebrations all round for everything. It's all lined up. It's fate.
Celebration and anything.
Oh, you really could. Okay. Shada All Right number 20. This is the great segment of the show where we talk about we talk about movies, don't we?
Well, we don't talk about movies. We try and guess what the movie is.
Yes.
What we try and do.
Yes. Okay.
Well, it's not whether it's shot or whether it's shit or
Give it a
shot.
shit or not. Okay, so basically this is the game where we read each other out a synopsis from a movie on IMDb. These have all been sent in from our subscribers. If you'd like to send one in, send it in to daveleepod@gmail.com. The more obscure, the better, because it trips us up. And we will read each other the synopsis for 3 films each, and no character names, no actors, no year, no title, none of that. Simply the synopsis. We read it out, and then we have to decide whether we think the title is shite or...
All right.
Sort of based on, judging a book by its cover, really, isn't it?
It is. So we judge whether a movie is shite or...
All right.
Going by the IMDb title, any title under a 5, so...
No, under a 5.9.
Under a 5.9, so under a 6.
Under a 6.
So anything between 0 to 5.9 is shite, and anything above 6,
All
6
right.
to 10.
All right.
And we sort of picked it there because we sort of figure that anything with a 6 and above is watchable.
Is
Anything
pretty good.
below, that's usually shit. We've had some good ones
So there you go.
under 6.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
how we buy our DVDs.
Yeah. So we've had the official scorekeeper of the podcast, Jeff, monkey boy.
Monkey Boy.
My little worker monkey, working away on his little treadmill.
He has
little
been
bike.
working though, I hope, has he?
He's been working this week. Good on him.
Good boy.
So Jeff has written in this week, hello and welcome to the best part of the show, my email. Yeah, good on you, Jeff. If this podcast were a movie, this would be the climax.
Probably not far from wrong, to be honest.
Probably. Joke, of course. Kind of. Yeah. Give me the cheek again, Jeff. He says he would never suggest Planet of the Apes for Shada All Right because last week you told him because he was sending in like monkey movies for the thing. You said you'd expect him to send in Planet of the Apes. He hasn't. He said He says I would never suggest Planet of the Apes for Shada All Right. Those are my home movies, mate. Yeah. He says I recently learned about the Great Emu War. Any thoughts on that? Do you know about the Great Emu War?
Got no idea what he's talking about.
You haven't heard of the Great Emu War?
No.
Late 1930s in Australia, we had like a massive boom of the emu population.
Oh,
Western
really?
Australia, yeah. And the government led like this massive military operation to cull all the emus. Yeah, they got together like a squadron from the military, armed them with essentially World War I machine guns, and sent them out there to just cull the emus.
Cull the emu? Really?
Yeah, but they lost. They lost because the emu population was so out of control. They just couldn't cull them.
Control it.
So the emus won the Great Emu War. There you go.
That's funny.
So Jeff says, "What are your thoughts on that?" I think it's great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So there you go.
trying to wipe out our national bird.
Yeah. But the birds bloody won.
Yep.
Good on them.
They always do.
Of course they do. And that's why we have still got so many emus just running wild.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
maybe they could do something about the camel population. They're not native.
No, they're not native.
We're the largest camel population in the world.
Outside of the Middle East.
Oh, I think it's even bigger than that.
I thought it was outside of the Middle East, as far as I understand.
Huge.
Yeah.
Out back.
Yeah.
Up north.
Correct. They were introduced for an expedition that was happening, and a few camels got wild, went wild in the 1800s. This is true. Again, just funny stories from Australian history. You could do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah, exactly.
There was an expedition that they were leading to kind of.
That
was the Burke and Wills expedition that they were kind of traversing from south to north of this side of the country, our side of the country, and they imported a bunch of camels from India, and a bunch of them got loose and went and repopulated in the outback, and there's massive camel population now as a result. Yeah. Of that. So there you go. So anyway, Jeff continues to say, I think he's making jokes now. Who is the lead singer of the Australian Black Sabbath? Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, God.
This is where I need the
he must be
sound effect.
That's a dad joke.
It is, isn't it? He says, I had another joke, but Australia later. In brackets, I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you, Jeff. By the way, I'll be happy to keep score for any new games you guys come up with. Now, because last week we were talking about new games. We want some new games, just to liven it up a bit.
World's worst scorekeeper.
He did. He said world's worst scorekeeper, which is what we call him, and nice to see that he's embraced it.
It's good.
Good on him.
So we've got the world's worst scorekeeper and the world's worst manager.
Yeah,
involved.
There you go.
Awesome.
And the world's worst listeners. I've said that one before. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. But yeah, we do want some new games. We did have a suggestion on a new game from Devesh, who's a regular listener and a regular Strider or Rider. Sends in a lot of Strider or Riders. He suggested a game where we can, you know how sometimes, pardon me, sometimes they release movies internationally with a different title.
Yep.
So example, The Rundown, which is the film with The Rock and Sean William Scott, was released in Australia and I think in the UK as Welcome to the Jungle.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. So ideas like that where we can read each other the title of an international title of a movie, and then we have to guess, the other person has to guess what the movie is. Now, it's going to be difficult to kind of procure them so that we don't know what they are, and it might take hours. If anyone out there is listening and wants to send us in some obscure kind of international titles for movies that we can kind of put together into this game, that would be awesome. So send them into daveleepod@gmail.com, and we might start this game up in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see how we go. Anyway, let's get into Shard All Right, because we're fucking rabbiting on today.
Yep.
It's an hour and 10 minutes
one
in.
of those days.
It is one of them days. So let's do it. Shard All Right. You are guessing first this week.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you're guessing first. I've guessed first 10 times. You've guessed first 9 times. The score is 20. Well, actually, first I'll say I moved up 2 spots last week. You moved up 3 spots. So the gap has closed from 3 to 2. There's only a 2 deficit between us now.
Awesome.
So I'm on 28. You're on 26. So this could be the week. If you have a big week like last week, this could be the week. So let's do it, okay? I'm up first. I'm going to read you one. Yep. We got one sent in from Sam B this week, but Sam B really, really, really wants me to read out the one that he sent in last week, and it seemed quite apt. I'm going to read this to you. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to... An astronaut crew crash lands on a planet in a distant future where intelligent talking creatures are the dominant species, and human are the oppressed and enslaved.
It sounds like Planet of the Apes. And if it's so, it's a good...
But the question you have to ask, is it good? Is it good?
Well, it depends on which version. Doesn't it? If it's the original, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
If it's the Mark Wahlberg one, it's okay.
Yeah. If it's the TV series,
it's fantastic. Love the TV.
I don't think I ever saw the TV show. There you go. Could be the animated show.
I'm going to say it's all right.
It's all right?
I'm going to say it's all right because I don't know which version it is.
You're going to go in favour with the original. But then at that, is it a cult film that has a shitty rating but everyone loves?
I'll still say it's all right.
Let me make sure I've got the right sound effects here. Okay. You think it's going to be all right? You going to lock it in?
I'll say it's all right.
Okay, it is...
All right. Yeah,
it's the original version with Charlton Heston, 1968... Planet of the Apes got an 8.
Yeah.
Of course it does. It's a fucking great film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Such a good movie. There you go.
Mark Wahlberg one was okay.
I like the Mark Wahlberg one, but people
wasn't
didn't
as good
like
as
it.
that, though.
I'll have a look. I think it's probably got like a 5 or something. Planet of the Apes. I liked it. I like the Mark Wahlberg one. 2001 version.
A lot of people don't like Mark Wahlberg.
5.7.
Oh, there you go.
And it's Tim Burton as well, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Who hasn't done great stuff recently.
Not a huge Tim Burton
Well,
fan.
this was 20 years ago. But but there you go. Okay, so Planet of the Apes. There you go.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay.
Could have also been, sorry, I added, could have also been the more recent trilogy of films.
Yeah,
We
that's right.
didn't mention
Yeah,
that
that's right.
either.
No, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. The best
they were
ones.
beautifully made
Yeah,
films.
great. Okay, next one.
Okay. Relationships and loyalties of a criminal family planning its next big heist are tested when some shocking revelations strike them. And this one comes to us from?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, this one has come in from Michael Usatov.
That's right.
So, sorry, can you read that? Let's go again.
Relationships and loyalties of a criminal family planning its next big heist are tested when some shocking revelations strike them.
Oh. Sounds like Animal... Was it called? Animal... Is that Australian film? The Australian crime film?
It's called Animal, wasn't it?
No. Animal... Jesus, what the hell was it called? It's an amazing movie. Jackie Weaver was in it. Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom.
That's right.
It sounds like it, but I don't think it is. If it is, it's very good. It sounds okay. Regardless, it sounds okay. I'm going to say it's all right. It sounds pretty good.
You going to lock that in?
Yeah, I'll lock it in.
It is, in fact.
Shite.
Oh, no.
Shite.
Oh, no.
Shite.
I could sit here for half an hour doing that.
No! No! What is it?
It's called Race 3.
Oh, what the hell?
1.9.
Oh! Is that the worst one we've had so
Just
far?
the worst one we've ever had, I think.
Shit.
Yeah.
Race 3. Who's in this?
It must be an Indian. I think it's an
Anil
Indian film. Anil
Kapoor,
Kapoor.
Salman Khan. Oh, yeah, shit. Daisy
Yeah.
Sa, Jacqueline Fernandez. Shit. Race
Yeah.
3. Let me see. I want to see the picture of this. Oh, mate. Oh, there you go. All right.
Phew.
All right.
That was a bad one.
That was a bad one.
But it was a good one.
Yeah. I've got one from Devesh.
Yep.
You'd like to send a bunch? It's Devesh Suit. Thanks so much, Devesh. We're finally getting back to your massive entire page worth of titles you've sent in. Now, Devesh says that this one, he strongly disagrees with the rating that it's got. So that could mean he hated it and it's got a great rating, or he loved it and it's got not a great rating. So anyway, he strongly disagrees. Okay, so to avenge her mother's death, Pixie masterminds a heist, but must flee across Ireland from gangsters, take on the patriarchy, and choose her own destiny.
Go again.
To avenge her mother's death, Pixie masterminds a heist, but must flee across Ireland from gangsters, take on the patriarchy, and choose her own destiny.
Shite.
You reckon?
Shite.
Okay, so you're going to say
I'm gonna say
shite?
it's shite. Sounds like an Irish film.
It is. Does that mean it's shite instantly?
I've not seen a good one. No, I actually haven't seen some good Irish films. But no, I think it just sounds like shit.
Okay. It is.
Shite.
Yeah. Only just, though. It's a 5.8. It's called Pixie. I did read the character's name out. It's got Olivia Cook in it, who I really like. I think she's great. She was the girl in Bates Motel. And she's done like a lot of really great movies as well. Her.
Yep.
I think she's great. So obviously Devesh thinks that this is a good movie. Oh, she's in Ready Player One, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, Sound of Metal. She's amazing in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, something I actually wouldn't mind having a look at. It looks okay. Who else is in that one? It's got Fra Fee. No idea who that is. Rory Fleck Byrne. Pat Short. Yeah, I don't know any of them. But there you go. Pixie. 5.8.
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
5.8, but
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have bought it.
No.
Okay. Excuse me. A young reindeer who suffers from vertigo learns to overcome his fear, takes flying lessons from a clumsy flying squirrel, and heads to the North Pole to save a troubled Santa and his fleet of flying reindeer.
Now, this one comes in from Kyle Brebner. Sorry, should have said that. Read that again.
A young reindeer who suffers from vertigo learns to overcome his fear, taking flying lessons from a clumsy flying flying squirrel and heads to the North Pole to save a troubled Santa and his fleet of flying reindeer.
That's shit. It could be an animated thing that like people love. I don't know, but never. I'm gonna say it's shite. It's got to be.
Locking that in.
No. Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
All right.
Almost changed. Yeah, what is this?
Nico. It's an animated thing, you're right.
Oh.
Nico and the Way to the Stars.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. It must have another title.
Yeah, Lentaja Poika. It must be a foreign film.
I don't know.
Sounds like it's Norwegian or something. Further down, further
Nobody
down.
that we can sort of notice.
It's further down. No, I don't know, but I'm sure it must be.
Yeah, it can't be. It can't be.
Well, if it's got a foreign
US
title,
or-
then it's a foreign film.
Mm.
Anyway, so there you go.
Yes.
All right.
Only just all right. It was,
What was it?
6.1.
Well, there you go. All right, I've got one more for you.
Yep.
This one comes in from Gary Litterman. Thanks again, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read this one out. When Laura and Dan get married, not supposed to read character names, so it's fairly generic. When Laura and Dan get married, she's more interested in Dan's gorilla. It's revealed through hypnosis that she was queen of the gorillas in a previous incarnation.
Oh, just sounds like tripe. Go again.
When Laura and Dan get married, she's more interested in Dan's gorilla. It's revealed through hypnosis that she was queen of the gorillas in a previous incarnation.
Sounds like it could be a sex film.
Could be. Who knows?
I just hope gorilla's not a euphemism. That sounds like shit.
Yeah, you reckon?
That sounds like crap.
And you reckon shite?
I'm going to lock shit
All
in.
right, it is...
Shite.
Yeah, double shite. It's called The Bride and the Beast. They got a 3.4, and it looks like a C-grade horror film.
Poster shit too.
Yeah, posters all from 1958. It's actually written by Ed Wood Jr., who is the guy that Johnny Depp played in Ed Wood. So there you go, The Bride and the Beast. So you did well this week.
You've got one more.
Have I got one more?
Yeah, you got one more.
You sure about that?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, of
we've
course I
done
do. Yeah,
This one
one more.
comes from... I can't remember.
I think this one came from Kyle. Did this one come from Kyle Brebner?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah. So did I say the last one was from Kyle? The previous one was from Tyson Turner. This one's from Kyle Brebner.
Yes.
Here we go.
That's right. Do you know how to read this one? Because it gives the guy's name. I'll just say his name.
probably-
Babe Ruth becomes a baseball legend, but is unheroic to those who know him.
Well, I know there was a Babe Ruth documentary made, biopic made many years ago. I can't remember who played him. If it's the one I'm thinking of, like the classic one, was it called The Babe or was it called Babe or something like that? So you've sort of given it away. But I don't know, it could be something else. It might be one that was critically panned. I'm not sure. He was played by... Who played him? Can't remember. It's James Stewart or someone like that. I'm going to say all right. I'm just going to say all right because I feel like it might be just all right.
So you can lock in Nora?
Yeah.
Shite.
Oh, no.
Only just.
I knew there was something. Is this the old
5.9.
one? Yeah, I knew there was something about it that got panned.
And it is called The Babe.
The Babe, yeah.
Made in 92.
Oh, 92.
Yeah.
Oh, is this with John Goodman? Ah,
John Goodman.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just shite. 5.9.
Just shite.
I probably would have bought that
Yeah.
to watch it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
John Goodman. Kelly McGillis.
Yeah.
That's about all, really.
Well, there you go. Well, I don't think I got one right this week.
Ooh,
And I think you got all three.
I might be in the lead.
Or tied.
No,
I think that
because
was
I was
tied.
two behind.
Oh, you might be in the lead. Oh, shit.
Wait to hear from Monkey Boy
We'll
next
hear
week.
from Jeff next week.
Oh, I'm
the world's
excited now.
scorekeeper. Jeff.
Shite.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Well, it's the end of Shite, all right. Jeff, if you can, whatever you can do to kind of just futz the scores up just a little bit, just to kind of make it like in my favour just a little bit, it could be appreciated. There could be a nice little raise in there for you, my friend.
No bribery allowed.
Not bribing. What are you talking about? Anyway, that was this week's episode of edition of Shite or Alright.
I've done well the last couple of weeks.
You have done well the last couple. This is what I'm telling you. You're finally getting back up. You done me over.
I'm sort of working out how it works.
Oh, yeah, finally. Hey, I just got, this could be a cool update on air. I don't quite know, but I just got an update on my AusPost app.
Oh, God, here we go.
So what's happening? I've got a delivery coming today.
Yeah, it's probably out in the front already.
Could be. From Amazon. So they may have finally tracked down that Amazon parcel the day after it's that Amazon parcel coming today. They finally tracked it down, obviously. It's funny because every time they raise a case against a missing parcel, it shows up pretty quickly. Yeah.
Somebody's got it sitting in their truck thinking, if nobody says anything, they'll keep it.
Yep. Hang on a minute. Were you supposed to deliver this parcel? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I fell down between the seats.
Literally, every time I raise a case, it shows up within 24 hours. So that's the Amazon one. I've got another thing coming. My big statue's coming today, apparently, which I've been waiting for fucking months.
It hasn't arrived already?
No, it hasn't arrived yet, it says. The UPS one hasn't updated yet, though. So hopefully next week we can still celebrate that. But that's still sitting in Sydney, apparently. All right, so let's have a look. Are we doing an hour, 20 minutes? Okay, we can quickly do this. Remember last week we called our pal Radio Mike. We called up his, what do you call it? His podcast. What do you call it? Podcast. We called up his podcast. That's what I was going to say. We called his hotline. 1-800-GET-FUCKED. 1-800-GET-FKD. If you want to do us a solid, call up Mike on 1-800-GET-FUCKED and tell him that Dave Lee and old mate Rick told you to get fucked. Just tell him we sent you. Tell him to get fucked and tell him that we sent you. So we rang him during the podcast last week, and he got the thing,
message,
obviously, the message, and he's played on his podcast this week. Let's have a look.
Celebrity endorsement of the phone number. Got this message.
Hey, Radio Mike, it's Dave Lee Down Under here from the Dave Lee Down Under podcast.
And old man Rick.
How's it going? Hey, we just ringing you. I saw your post about how your hotline got absolutely slammed with people telling you to get fucked. So we thought we'd get in on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
hey, Radio Mike.
Get fucked. See you later, mate. Have
that
a good
is
one.
Oh, sorry. That is friend of the show, Dave Lee from Dave Lee Down Under, and his dad Rick Lee, who do the Dave Lee Down Under podcast, which I highly recommend, by the way, if you're into like pop culture, particularly like Marvel stuff. Really good discussion on that. And Rick is Dave's dad, as I said, and he's great on the podcast as well.
All right, so you go. So Mike gave us a little shout out.
That's cool.
Celebrity indoor. He calls us celebrities. Far from it, Mike. But thank you. I do appreciate the sentiment there. But yeah, head over to radio. Head over and do listen to Radio Mike's podcast, 20th Century Boy. It's great. I love it. I really do love it. I listen to it every week. And his secondary podcast, Harry Potter and the Boys. It's great.
That's one you did, was it?
I did that, and then he's got another podcast called Mike Talks. Is it called Mike Talks? Yeah, and he just talks to people. He's got guests on. I did the first episode of that. He wants me to come on. It's like he's revamping it, I believe,
right, and
wants me to come back on again. So we'll do that again. So, but yeah, go over and check out Radio Mike. Interestingly, you just received a phone call while we were watching that saying your treadmill's on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned that earlier in the podcast. So everything's happening.
Oh, God.
It's a big celebration. And I got some special news. Well, not special news, but I got some big news just dropped in, which will drop into the news segment at the back end of the show. Just been sent in from James, who we were talking about just before, who often sends in some big breaking news that I often miss. So we're going to drop that in. So all of the stuff's happening right now. But at this point, this is the point where we're going to... It's our favourite jingle of the week. Trailer trash. I was going to update the jingle with a trash can. I forgot. I'm sorry. So anyway, this week we're going to be taking a look at the trailer for Matrix Ressurections. It's the fourth Matrix film. It's from visionary filmmaker Lana Wachowski. It's the long-awaited fourth film from the groundbreaking franchise that redefined a genre. The new film reunites original stars Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss in the iconic roles that they made famous, Neo and Trinity. I believe Jada Pinkett Smith is also along for the ride, who played Niobe in the original films too. So we spoke about this a few weeks ago. The trailer played at CinemaCon, and there was a description that came out online about the trailer. This is pretty much essentially the trailer that came out at CinemaCon, but we can finally take a look. You have a look. Here we go.
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me, no?
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like a Matrix film.
No, yeah.
The sort of half of it doesn't look like a
Yeah.
Matrix film, the other half does.
Yeah.
And some classic Matrix moves and shit.
The story's going to be pretty much the same. Obviously, it's going to be like a soft reboot. But it looks fucking awesome.
Looks really good.
Really,
looks
really good.
Better made than the originals too.
Well, the originals were groundbreaking at the time. So
of course they were.
You know, they influenced the movies that we have now as far as making like high concept sci-fi stuff mainstream. The special effects and stuff they were dealing with at the time were brand new.
Yeah,
they were groundbreaking, and obviously everything that came after it owes so much to the Matrix. But now we've gone close to probably 20 years later. How the special effects have evolved in that time. So it's going to be interesting to go back into this world to get to this point where the first one started, and then now we've almost full circle. But yeah, it looks very different.
Looks great.
It's amazing. Yeah. So, like, if you can imagine if the first Matrix was made now, it would obviously look like this. But yeah, I'm really excited. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but I loved the original movies when I was a kid. I watched them over and over. But this looks so fucking cool.
I love Keanu.
Yeah.
And Carrie-Anne Moss is great too.
Yeah.
So they look fantastic.
Keanu's rocking the beard still, the long hair, like John Wick.
Yeah.
Probably contractually. So
that sort of reminds. There's a couple of shots in there that, you know, with the hold the gun close up with the camera and stuff. It was a real John Wick.
I guarantee if John Wick were not as popular as they were, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, probably not.
Those movies showed he's still got it. He's still got it. He's big. He makes money. Because kids now, or the younger audience, probably aren't going to be too familiar with The Matrix. And like you said, this looks so different that I feel like if you go back to those, they'll be maybe a little bit dated.
Maybe.
And I feel like it's just not a very relevant franchise or a relevant IP. But now that Keanu is very well known again, having this like career renaissance, I feel like that will drag people back into the audience. But it's going to be interesting to see how it does perform, because I don't feel like it's incredibly relevant now.
Wow. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks so
It looks
good.
really
I'm
good.
very, very
When's
excited.
it due? Sorry, did you say?
This one is due, I think, on the 22nd of December in the US. It's going to go to theatres and HBO Max day and date. But it's not opening here until January 1st. So we've got to wait a few weeks. Couple of weeks.
If we're open.
If we're open. Hopefully we should be by then. There you go. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. The Matrix Ressurections.
Just for the vaxxed.
Yes, just for the vaxxed.
might be able to.
The non-vaxxed won't be able to get to a cinema.
Whether you'll get a screener on it.
It's Warner Brothers, so I'm hoping we'll probably get a screener or a screening or something.
What are the watermarks on those ones?
Warner Brothers, actually quite good.
Oh, that's good.
The Warner Brothers screeners don't really have intrusive watermarks, which is really good. Unlike some of the other distributors. They've got it's like a little one, and then it kind of floats around the screen every 10 or 15 and then might disappear and then comes back and disappears. So they're quite good. So we'll see how we go with that. Or at that point, it might be an in-cinema screening.
Hope so.
I hope so too. I'd love to see it in the cinema. It'd be so fucking
I think
good.
even if we get a screening, even if you get a screening, we'll
I'll be going
be going to see
cinema.
it.
Oh yeah, paying my cold hard cash to go see the Matrix in the cinema again. If that goes to IMAX, fuck, I'm going to see that in the IMAX.
Get in season pass.
Yeah, yeah. But I just bought They haven't arrived. Oh no, they did arrive. They arrived in the first JB package, but I bought the Matrix films on 4K. Apparently, like gorgeous new 4K scans of the original elements. So got those nice and prepped, ready to go for when for when that one comes out. Here's another trailer.
I'm excited about that now because I wasn't looking forward to it.
No, me either. I don't know what's going on. Lawrence Fishburne hasn't come back, but there is a character in here who's very much Lawrence Fishburne. He's taken that same kind of role as Morpheus. He's played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who you may have recently seen in Candyman. We haven't seen that, but there you go. It's also got Jessica Henwick in there. Jonathan Groff, who I think is great. He's the guy at the very end. He was in Hamilton, the stage play Hamilton, and did the voice in Frozen, one of the voices in Frozen, but I think he's fantastic. Neil Patrick Harris, of course. Priyanka Chopra Jonas is in there, and Christina Ricci, too, who we haven't seen for a very long time. But yeah, so very much looking forward to that. Here's another trailer we'll very quickly look at. This is the latest film from Adam McKay. Of course, we best know Adam McKay from Anchorman, Step Brothers, the other guys, but he's also done a few awards darlings on the side, like The Big Short and Vice, two films I didn't particularly like, but I love all these comedy stuff. But this is a film. It's got an enormous cast. It's called Don't Look Up. It tells the story of two low-level astronomers who must go on a giant meteor tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. I feel like it's going to be like a cross between his comedy stuff and his like awards darling stuff because of the cast that's in it. And when you have a movie that has such a huge cast, it kind of falls apart. But let's have a look. This is the trailer. I won't tell you who's in it, but it's called Don't Look Up.
Your breathing is stressing me out.
This will affect the entire planet.
I know, but it's like so stressful.
Can I get that one more ice water?
I'll get 2 more glasses of white wine, and I don't need the judgy face. There's a comet headed directly towards Earth. Do you know how many the world is ending meetings we've had over the last 2 years?
Drought, famine, hole in the ozone is so boring.
It looks okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to that one.
First time I'm watching that, so it looks pretty good. Like I said, it looks like it might be a mix between his comedy stuff and his more like awards-baity stuff. The cast, of course, includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, one of my favourites. She hasn't done anything in ages. She's finally making a comeback, which is so wonderful to see. Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep, who I'm not a huge fan of, but she does good in comedic roles.
Yeah.
I always like when she does the comedic stuff. Cate Blanchett, Timothée Chalamet, of course, he's in everything. Gina Gershon, Melanie Linsky, who was in, she was the creepy stalker in 2.5 Men, Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Perlman, Michael Chiklis, Matthew Perry, Ariana Grande, Tyler Perry, Mark Rylance, Himesh Patel, and Kid Cudi, whatever. The enormous cast, which is the only thing that worries me about it, because you get an enormous cast on a film, and sometimes it's like,
they throw a big cast on it to make a shit film seem better.
Yeah. But this is heading to US theaters December 10, and then it's going to Netflix on December 24th.
It looks okay though.
Looks pretty good. I think it'll be good. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is it done as a comedy or a drama or?
It's probably comedy drama, but if you notice on the trailer, they advertised Big Short, Vice, and also Anchorman and Step Brothers. So that gives you an idea of the kind of, they will only ever advertise from the creator of movies that are similar to the movie that you're about to see. So it's probably, comedy drama. Looks pretty good. There you go.
I look forward to that one too.
Yeah, me too. So, and
favourite there, that's probably Jonah Hill.
And Leo?
Yes, I'm not a huge Leo fan. I like his stuff, but I'm not a huge Leo fan.
Jonah Hill's great too. Again, I think he's someone who hasn't really done much either for a while. Not that we've watched anyway. But I love all of them.
But even like some of his more serious roles are really good too.
Oh yeah, for sure. So anyway, looking forward to that one. We're running a little tight on time today, so let us get into the... What's that? Oh my gosh. I got to shorten this thing. It's the breaking news! Woo! It's not really breaking, but it's fresh enough.
Well, you got breaking
I
news.
do have breaking news here. Let's get into that one first, actually. This is very exciting. This is the first time I'm kind of reading this. We've been talking about Christopher Nolan for a while. Christopher Nolan's like massive split from Warner Brothers over their decision to dump all these movies day and date. He called them the world's worst streaming service. He said, one day I went to bed working for the world's worst, film, paraphrasing here, went to bed one night working for the world's best film studio, and I woke up working for the world's worst streaming service.
Maybe we can send you the world's worst manager.
Yeah, and the world's worst scorekeeper and all that. But yeah, here's from Deadline has just broken. Christopher Nolan bombshell. Director talking to multiple studios on film he'll direct about J. Robert Oppenheimer and the development of the A-bomb in World War II. Ooh, exclusive. Again, this is Deadline. Christopher Nolan is readying his next film, and Deadline hears that, like Dunkirk, it will focus on a seminal moment in World War II, which is J. Robert Oppenheimer's role in the development of the atom bomb. Here is a bombshell development. While none of Nolan's recent movies had gone outside Warner Brothers, I'm hearing that several of the major studios across town are reading the screenplay and speaking with Nolan and his reps. So they mention, this might be residue from the umbrage Nolan took when Warner Media declared its intention to go day and date with the entire 2021 movie slate without forewarning talent, their reps, or even studios' financing partners in the films. So there you go. We've been speculating on this, that he's going to go elsewhere, and looks like he's shopping around.
Yeah.
But this is the first we've heard about this movie as well, so this is a new announcement. Sounds pretty cool. I reckon it'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
I love all of his movies. Dunkirk was great. So
We
if
had
it's
lunch with
anything
him,
like
didn't we?
that. Huh?
We had lunch with him.
Yeah, him and his brother we had lunch with. Yeah, this table next to us.
On the table next to us. But
At Warner Brothers Studios, in the commissary when we did our VIP studio tour, and they were just there.
Yep.
There you go. Interesting. It'd be interesting to follow this. I don't know who'll pick it up, but there you go. That definitely sounds like a Warner Brothers film too, so it's going to kill them if they don't get it by the sound of it. Paramount, Sony, you got any of the big ones?
Sounds like it's more a Paramount thing to me.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think Disney would touch it unless they took it from under like 20th Century banner, maybe. It'll be interesting.
Whoever's going to pay him the most.
Exactly right.
That's what I'd be doing.
And give him the creative freedom that he wants.
Yeah, exactly right.
A few smaller or bigger pieces of news this week. This is a pretty big one. Shang-Chi opened. Not here. We still haven't seen it. We're going to see it probably for like another month, 2 months.
Couple of months probably.
Because of lockdown. Hollywood Reporter has reported that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is making heroic showing at the box office, where it smashed the record for Labor Day openings with a 4-day haul of $90 million. It smashed Labor Day openings during a pandemic. First of all, right? It's posted the second biggest 3-day debut of the pandemic year so far, behind Marvel Studios' Black Widow, which of course debuted with $80.3 million over 3 days, ahead of Universal's Fast 9, which brought in $70 million in late June. Its global taking is estimated to be $127.6 million, which is quite good when we're, again, talking pandemic times.
Could you imagine what it had done non-pandemic?
This would have hit $1 billion.
Oh, my
This would have been
God.
$1 billion movie, which is so disappointing. But there you go. I would have loved to see it hit that mark. Marvel's already spoiling the movie in their promotion, of course, as they do. They keep everything so secretive until the very last minute. Thankfully, I haven't seen anything because I've got all the keywords muted on all my social medias, so I haven't seen anything pop up. But it's just a matter of time that something slips through the cracks.
For sure.
But yeah, apparently they've just released like a whole slew of promotional posters, like character posters, and like spoils a bunch of like the cameos and shit. So disappointing. But anyway, looking forward to seeing that. And it's doing well, which is great. Despite what some other pundits on YouTube might be telling you, the people who usually rail against like the Captain Marvels and the Star Wars, Last Jedis, those crew will try and convince you that this movie's a failure, but it's doing very well considering it's pandemic times. There you go. Here's something really weird. We like to talk about the way the media is changing and shifting, and people's viewing habits are changing, and the kinds of people that are becoming more famous now. Obviously, I think I've mentioned once or twice on the podcast that a few years ago, they did this poll in schools across America to see who the most recognizable celebrities were in America, and the top like 3 or 4, or maybe top 5 were YouTubers and social media stars, followed by celebrities. So the younger people now are know these social media stars more than they know Hollywood movie stars. It's changing this whole dynamic of who we consider a celebrity and whatever else. Addison Rae, I guess you've probably never heard of this girl.
No.
I had not really heard of her until recently
so.
either. She's a TikToker with 83.3 million subscribers
Oh,
or followers, as they're called on TikTok. She's the third most popular person on TikTok. She has 39.2 million on Instagram, 5 million on Twitter. She's 20 years old. She recently released a single called Obsessed. She was nominated for the Breakthrough Social Star at the 2021 MTV Movie and TV Awards. She's just done a film on Netflix called He's All That, which is like a gender-swapped version of She's All That, the 90s rom-com. And that dropped last weekend, and Netflix estimates that more than 55 million households will watch this thing in its first month of release. It has reached number one on Netflix in 78 countries already, including Brazil, France, and Saudi Arabia.
Bloody Nora.
So they didn't say how many viewings it got over the first weekend or on its first day or anything, but it's fucking massive. And they have immediately signed her up to a multi-picture deal for Netflix.
Bloody hell.
Madness.
God. Just from someone taking video of herself on her phone.
Like 20, 30-second TikTok videos, little videos. She's fucking Netflix superstar.
Gorgeous girl.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So she's got an enormous following, and Netflix is going, yes, we'll take all those, please. All your 80 million followers, come over here.
Yeah.
At this time where Disney Plus is about to knock them off the charts. And they're obviously trying to find new ways to be relevant, stay relevant. Netflix are kind of falling behind a little bit, and this is the way to do it.
Yep.
People are knocking this, but it's a very smart business decision because this is going to pull your audience in.
You're not wrong.
And fucking good on her,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly
anything
right.
about her. I don't think I've seen a single one of her TikToks.
I have actually seen her.
Yeah.
When you said the name, it was vaguely familiar. It was one of the morning programs.
Oh, right, yeah.
Played one of her videos
Okay.
about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think it was. And that's why it was for me. I thought,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, there you go.
And now I've seen, I thought, I know who it was.
So there you go. I may have seen some of her stuff pop up. I'm not overly familiar, but good on her, man. 20 years old, 80-odd million subscribers, over 100 million subscribers across all platforms. Fucking good job.
Yeah, exactly right.
And Netflix, fucking good job for going where the trend is. Like, follow the trend.
You're getting excited about 100,000?
Yeah, no, here I am, 100,000, guys, yeah.
She's got 100 million.
Jesus Christ.
Can she send a few your way? Or?
Yes, please, just a few. That's all I want. Just give me a couple of million. A couple of lousy million.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That Cinderella on Amazon with Camila Cabello apparently did very well as well. Even though it's a trash movie, everyone's absolutely trashing the thing. It apparently did very well. They reckon it pulled in 1 million households over the 4-day Labour weekend. Take into account each household might have 3 or 4 people watching it, so there's millions and millions of people watching this thing. They reckon it was the number one most watched video on demand over the holiday, which is questionable when we talk about He's All That. Apparently that was fucking enormous. But they're saying that Cinderella's probably going to get a sequel as well.
God. You watched that, didn't you?
I did. It was awful. It's dreadful. Don't bother.
I have no interest whatsoever.
Don't waste your time.
Interest.
Don't waste your time. We've got a new Aquaman suit. I don't really care about Aquaman. I didn't like the first movie. Aquaman, as they call it in America. Everyone always laughs the way that we pronounce Aquaman. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is the second film.
It's just that Aussie twang in it.
Yes, it is. James Wan is filming this one again. They're currently filming it. They've changed the costume this time around. So if the one on the left is the original costume, the one on the right is the new one. It's described as a navy bodysuit with chrome accents. And Aquaman's going to be blonde.
It's a much better looking suit.
I think so. It doesn't look as dicky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought it was a knock on the door, but it's someone hammering, waiting for these parcels.
Sounded like a car backfiring.
There you go. So anyway, that's the new look at Aquaman. What do you think? It looks much better.
It looks much better. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Aquaman.
Me either.
And I'm still not really a fan of him either. But
Jason Momoa,
I'm not a huge fan. But that suit looks fantastic.
It actually reminds me of, and people will hate this, but it reminds me of Batman Forever, the suits from Batman Forever.
Yeah, it does.
The
too.
sonar suit.
The George Clooney.
Yeah. Batman and Robin. Oh, yeah, sort of like the George Clooney suit,
one
yeah.
With the big cod piece.
Yeah. Yeah, it does a little bit. Anyway, there you go. We've got first reactions from Dune. Warner Brothers Dune have popped in. Overly hyperbolic, some of these things. People have seen this at the Venice International Film Festival that premiered. And, of course, the first reactions you get out of these film festivals are always just over the top. One guy, people were taking the absolute piss out of this guy. I won't read his name just because I don't want to. But people were taking the piss out of this, and it became sort of a meme on TikTok over the last week. He wrote, "I left Dune shaking. This is how people seeing 2001: A Space Odyssey back in 1968 for the first time must have felt. The grandeur of this thing is off the charts. However blown away you think you're going to be, multiply it by 10.
Is he taking the piss?
No, he's dead serious. And everyone
Because
just took
2001 Space Odyssey was shit.
Yeah, but everyone fucking loves it.
Exactly.
Right? But so he's everyone took the piss out of this and was posting stuff like, I left Cinderella shaking. This is how people so they drop in like a shit movie and just like take the piss out of this guy. Poor thing. But anyway, Clayton Davis from Variety calls it an absorbing, awe-inspiring, huge adaptation of half of Frank Herbert's novel that will wow existing acolytes and get newcomers hooked on its spice-filled visions. If part 2 never happens, it'll be a travesty. Jazzed Tankay from Variety as well says it's spectacular. Denis Villeneuve has crafted a visual masterpiece. Greg Fraser's cinematography is a sight to be seen, simply gorgeous. You can't take your eyes off the screen. Timothée Chalamet is outstanding. Don't be surprised by a crafts sweep. I'm not taking the piss out of these people, by the way. These are just genuinely... Yeah. That first one's a little bit hyperbolic. But these ones... But it's interesting to hear what these people are saying. Angelique Jackson from Variety says Denis Villeneuve's Dune is made for the fans without feeling purely like fan service. Go for the stunning visuals and the heartfelt performances by Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac. Worth noting, Jason Momoa steals every scene as Duncan Idaho. What a star. There you go. So there's a few positive ones. There's a few mixed reviews here as well. Ben Travis from Empire calls it an absorbing, awe-inspiringly huge adaptation. That's the one I read before. I read that one. There are some more mixed responses here as well. Owen Gleiberman as well from Variety calls Dune a spectacular and says that Dune is spectacular and engrossing until it isn't. Here's one useful definition of a great sci-fi fantasy film. It's one in which the world building is awesome, but not more essential than storytelling. He says, viewed in that light, Dune is a movie that earns 5 stars for world building and about 2.5 for storytelling.
Oh.
David Irick from IndieWire says, first of all, Villeneuve's awe-inspiring vision. For all of Villeneuve's or inducing vision, he loses sight of why Frank Herbert's foundational sci-fi opus is worthy of this epic spectacle in the first place. Such are the pitfalls of making a movie so large that not even its director can see around the sets. He calls the hype surrounding the movie the mind killer. So it's a bit mixed. There's some overly hyperbolic stuff. There's some people going, yeah, this is really great, and some people going, yeah, don't get too hyped up in this. Yeah. Don't get too washed up.
You have to judge for yourself.
And I feel like I'm probably going to be in that latter camp. That's how I felt about this the whole time. It feels like one of those movies that, like 2001: A Space Odyssey, is big, it's grand, it's epic, people love it, but it's pretentious as hell and not very good. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go in there with
open mind.
Open mind. It looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. The cast is fantastic. I'm hoping I like it, but I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah,
Small.
I'm not
not overly
thrilled, not hyped about it. No, but I'll watch it.
I'm not a fan of Timothée Chalamet.
I do. I like him.
He's in everything, and I'm sick of hearing about him.
It's got Dave Bautista. It's got to be good.
No, yeah, exactly right. Mind you, he was in that fucking Hotel Artemis.
Yeah, it's true.
Zendaya is amazing. Oscar Isaac. I love Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin. Yeah. Great people in it. Great cast. Javier Bardem.
Charlotte Rampling too.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen her for a long time.
Ages. Selling Skarsgård. Anyway, so there you go.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Here's a very small piece of news that's dropped in this week. Disney has apparently cast Owen Wilson in their upcoming Haunted Mansion film. Long gestating Haunted Mansion project. Guillermo del Toro actually was attached to direct at one point. He's going to star opposite Lakeith Stanfield and Tiffany Haddish in this. The Hollywood Reporter says story details are being kept in the dark, but it's known that ostensibly the film will follow a family that moves into the titular mansion. However, it is the characters around the nucleus that will have a big portion of the moonlight shining on them. It's described as an ensemble piece, this one. The project, it begins shooting in Atlanta in October. It's the latest to be based on one of the company's classic attractions, of course. It's going to be directed by Justin Simeon, who directed Dear White People and Bad Hair. It's his studio debut, the first film he's doing for a studio. And it's written by Katie Dippold, who wrote 2016's Ghostbusters, The Heat, which was Melissa McCarthy and, what's her name? Not Julia Roberts, the other one, Sandra Bullock. Snatched, she wrote as well, which was the Amy... names. Yeah, it was Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer.
That's right. Yeah.
Amy Schumer. And she wrote 31 episodes of Parks and Rec.
Oh.
So a bit of a mixed kind of bag of stuff. There's some all right stuff in there. It's produced by Dan Lin and Jonathan Eyrick, who produced Aladdin, the live-action Aladdin.
That might be okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You just say, wow.
Wow. It could be a wow. Wow movie. Wow. Jungle Cruise has obviously done so well that Disney is like, fuck it, we're finally going to put these other park attraction movies that we've had in the back burner into production. Yep. We've got this now. There's 2 Pirates of the Caribbean movies in the works, apparently. One with Margot Robbie in the lead role. One with Karen Gillian. Karen Gillian. Is that her name? Karen Gillan. Karen Gillan from Guardians of the Galaxy, Nebula. They're attached to 2 different versions. So I don't know whether they'll both go ahead or who knows. And there was also a Tower of Terror movie that was in production with Scarlett Johansson attached to produce, but apparently that's fallen apart, allegedly fallen apart due to everything. But yeah, I'm keen to see that. The original Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy was dreadful. That is a movie that I remember. I love the trailer, and there's this hilarious bit in the trailer where he sees like the crystal ball with the head in it, Madame Leota.
Right, yeah.
And he looks at it and goes, wow, that's great. What is that? And I thought it was the funniest thing. This is so funny, so funny. Go to the movie. It wasn't in the film. They cut it out of the film.
Oh, really?
So my favourite part of Haunted Mansion was in the trailer, not actually in the movie.
Hate it when they do that.
Hate it. So annoying. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this. Owen Wilson's always great.
Yeah, he's always good fun.
Always fun. He was great.
Most of his films aren't great, but they're great. They're good fun.
Yeah, he's always fun in his roles.
Really
and
like that.
In
really
Loki
like
recently. Loki recently, if he brings that kind of quirky thing to it, it'll be great. Well, we're very, very long over time. Let's just take like a couple of questions. I've thrown a few and we'll save some for next week. Let's take like the top. We'll take the top one from Blake, patron. Okay, Blake. Another one from Blake. Who are you and old mate Rick barracking for in the remainder of the AFL season? I'm D's all the way. Well, for me, of course, our team got knocked out a couple of weeks ago. I would think probably Melbourne. I'd like to see Melbourne winning. They haven't won once for 50 odd years, so it'll either them or Geelong, because Geelong is my father's second team, so it'd be nice to, and my grandfather's team. So it'd be good to see them win one. But I think Melbourne. I'm barracking for Melbourne. I'll agree. So I'm with you. I'm with you, Blake. Yeah, I'll agree with that too. All the way with you, for the Melbourne team. Yep, for sure. Yep. We'll go for Captain C Cat 101. Yep. What's the best looking animation you've seen from a movie you don't like? Probably Frozen. Animation Frozen is stunning, absolutely stunning, but I'm not a fan of the film. Yeah. I can't stand it. Not a fan of the movie. But animation's beautiful. Yeah. Looney Plus show. Yeah. I have been trying to get my question in an episode. Dave, who is your favourite voice actor? I feel like we have answered this at some point. Overall, you have to go with like Mel Blanc. I think he was amazing. If we're talking like modern day, I love what Eric Bauza is doing at the moment. He's like the next Mel Blanc. He can do all the voices. He's the guy that does Bugs Bunny at the moment. He did Marvin the Martian. He did Porky Pig in the new Space Jam movie. He does like a whole slew of them. He's like the next Mel, but like the Mel Blanc of our generation, I got to go with him. Or, you know, the people that do The Simpsons. Soft spot for like Nancy Cartwright
exactly.
and Dan Castellaneta and all them. But yeah.
Tristan Strange.
Yeah, let's get through it. Let's just do them.
What do you think about the new Insomniac games that were just announced? Wolverine, Spider-Man 2. Will you play them?
Oh, yeah. I heard about this morning. Haven't seen the trailers yet. But there's going to be a new Spider-Man 2.
And you'll get that.
I'll get it for sure. I'm replaying the first one at the moment. And then I'll play... Because I played... When I was overseas, I was in England. I played the first Spider-Man game on my girlfriend Alicia's PlayStation 4. And when I came home... all of my progress was not on my machine. I assumed it would save it to the cloud, your user on the cloud, but no. So I've been wanting to replay it for a while. I 100%ed that game, 100%, did everything. Only game I've ever 100%ed. It's so hard. But with the PS5, we bought the remaster version. I'm playing my way through it again. It's so good. And then I'm going to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is like a spin-off of it. Apparently it's not a very long game, but it's like a spin-off. And then we're going to have Spider-Man 2. And then Wolverine's getting a game. Fucking hell, I'll be getting that for sure as well. Made by the same team as Spider-Man as well, I think. So yeah, for sure I'll be playing them.
Devesh Sood.
Yes.
Did the Sony conference justify your PS5 purchase?
Yes. Absolutely.
Favourite needle drop moments in film? The moment where any song...
It's like
song begins playing.
So it's like a needle drop where it's like it might be like a really cool scene and this cool song like drops in, yeah.
I have a new one this week. The movie Annette's opening song in the title, May We Start, and it's great. Best part of the movie.
Let me think. Movie with a song that just goes, it has to be fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. That first scene of Guardians of the Galaxy where he just puts on the tune, dancing
what
around.
What was the song?
I can't remember what it was. Was it Come and Get Your Love or was that later? Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that's that bit?
Awesome.
And then I love the bit later in the movie where they're in the prison and I can't remember what the song was. The song starts playing. Or at the beginning of the first movie, Mr. Brightside, ELO. Sorry, the second movie, ELO, Mr. Brightside, Baby Groot's dancing.
Another one for you was the U2 song in Batman.
Oh yeah, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me.
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah. And last one, I think, is it? Yes.
Yeah,
Alan Driver. Yeah, we'll just be fine. Alan Driver says, Alan writing from the United States again, and I've got two questions for you guys today. One, do you have any tips to fight depression? I need some tips when I feel blue.
It's a deep question.
Very deep. We might tackle that later.
Yeah. I will briefly say, I'm very fortunately not someone who's ever suffered depression, but I always recommend to put on your favorite sitcom or something when you're feeling a little bit blue, or a funny movie or something. That's my best tip. Off the top I can give you. I always feel like movies are the best form of escapism and the best just way to just tune out and go into another world and just, for me, if I ever felt crap or anything, Simpsons or Friends or just a lighthearted movie, something like that. It's probably not the best. I'm not here to dole out.
Frasier type of advice.
Yeah. But that's off the top of my head is
Blues Brothers for me.
Blues Brothers,
yeah, just something uplifting and fun and enjoyable.
There you go. Lots of good needle drops in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah. And question 2, after hearing Dave talk about Flintstones on the Rocks, when could we possibly see it on HBO Max? Shout out to Rick for mentioning Wacky Races. I appreciate that.
Oh,
no problem.
Flintstones on the Rocks.
Loved Wacky Races.
Yeah, great. Flintstones on the Rocks was this adult version of the Flintstones they made many years ago. They did one episode, it was a special. It's very raunchy, a lot of real adult jokes. There's a joke in there about Wilma's carpet matching the drapes, just stuff like that, yeah. There's a scene where they go into a hotel and Barney starts drinking water from the toilet, just weird shit.
Yeah.
And they never played it again. They played it once and that was it. It's never aired again. There's bootlegs that you can watch it on the internet. I don't think they will ever release that officially in any capacity ever again. So I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. I don't see it ever happening.
No.
I think at that's the end of the show.
Woo! Another big one.
Another big one, another huge one. A bit over 2 hours. That's all right.
That was a good one, though. I enjoyed that.
That's a good one. Me too. That is all that we have time for today. Thanks for listening. These go out every single Monday on all podcasting platforms. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google, Amazon Music, and Audible, and Spotify as well. Visual Element is also available on YouTube. You can check that out on the secondary channel. If you want to head over there, watch it as much as you can, hit that subscribe button, all that kind of shit. You can also find me over on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, of course. Head over there and subscribe and watch and stuff. Twitter, Instagram, there's links at the bottom of every single post. I'm on all those, as well as Letterboxd. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot an email at daveleepod@gmail.com. Send us in some shite or rights. Maybe send us in some alternate movie titles from international movie titles, so we can maybe get a game rolling on that. If you're listening on podcast platforms, please leave a review and a rating. It helps.
Only good ones.
Only the good ones.
Don't like bad ones.
YouTube preview this week. I don't think anything big's coming up because I'm hard at work on my next Evolution video. I can confirm it's not going to be a cartoon evolution. I'm going back to the pop culture evolutions this month. Pretty big character. I'm not sure how it's going to go.
Huge.
The last time I did a pop culture evolution, it tanked. So I'm preparing for it this time. I won't be as disappointed this time if it does. But it's something I've wanted to tackle for a while.
Yep.
It's a big character, but it's a character I'm not sure is incredibly relevant anymore. It will be relevant around the time I release it.
Right.
But I just feel like in the pop culture zeitgeist, maybe this character's maybe not as big as it once was. But anyway, I'm going to tackle it. I'll announce it probably in a week or so.
It'll be an interesting one. I'll find it interesting.
I'm currently writing it.
Long history.
I'm very excited with that one. Other than that, there'll probably be some cartoon news and stuff. I'll be doing a video on those DreamWorks Blu-rays. There's some new cartoon news from over the last few weeks and stuff. Other than that, my Elmer Fudd Evolution went up a couple of weeks ago. That's doing pretty well. Head over and check that one out. The Voice Evolution is up there now as well. That went out last week. I recently did a collaboration with Lydia from the Simpsons Theory channel, The Evolution of Duffman. So if you want to head over to her channel and check that one out, you can. That is The Simpsons Theory. At that is everything. We got to go because our treadmill's almost here, and I've got some parcels coming
and
as
I'm
well.
Starving.
And we're starving. We're going to get some lunch. So let's do it. Thanks for joining me again.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week. See you next week.
We'll see you next week for 50 shows. 50 apps.
Take care. Stay safe.
Take it easy. See you in the next
away
one.
from that COVID.
Yeah. Get vaxxed.